Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. So, I am recording this Monday evening. It's about 9:30 Mountain Standard Time, and I want to check in on Pete Hegseth. Many of you probably have heard that, oh boy, he's at it again. It's a second signal scandal and so on and so forth. You know, sometimes these folks just can't get out of their own way fast enough. I remember during his confirmation hearing, when he was asked about his drinking, and he said, "Oh well, if I'm successful, I'll quit drinking." Sure, sure. And my eyes are going to turn blue before the end of this broadcast. So, I think clearly, obviously, and entertainment purposes only. Um, he certainly wasn't the man for the job. He really, honestly wasn't. He is so out of his depth. So yeah, the first scandal with the uh, Signal app and so on, they could possibly talk their way out of it by saying, well, it's we didn't know, and these are all people who were vetted, and they've all got top secret clearance and so on and so forth. um uh, I don't believe it, but I could have bought it the first time. The second one is he's sharing information with his wife, his brother, his personal lawyer, and 11 or 12 other individuals who have yet to be named. So, who are these individuals? Does his wife have security clearance to be discussing or hearing about some of these operational things? What about his brother, his lawyer? Like I said, sometimes they just can't get out of their own way fast enough. So I thought, well, I'll just take a look uh, at Pete's energy right now and see. We'll start off by saying or asking how's he feeling right now? How's he feeling today? As the news is broken over the last couple days, how's he doing today? So here we go. What do we start with? Well, we start with the King of Pentacles. He's feeling pretty good about himself. He's feeling like, this, I got this under control. There are I have protection. They got my back. It's okay. This is just going to die down. We're not really going to pay attention to it. He's really kind of blind to what's going on around him. And yeah, that's Tower moment. This is something that you created, and you're the master of your own downfall. Should have learned a lesson the first time around. Should have closed down any personal accounts the first time it happened and advised everyone else to do the same thing, but he didn't. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, what do we have? We've got the Knight of Cups. Tell me what I want to hear. Just don't bother me with reality. Just whisper sweet nothings into my ear. Just tell me what I want to hear. It's not That's not the way things go. Okay. Uh, Interesting. Knight of Pentacles. Knights are they're they're kind of the doers. The pages are the messengers. You know, go take this to this person over here. The knights are the ones that, okay, well, we'll make things happen. So he is working right now, I think, very hard, um, behind the scenes, trying to muster support, trying to he's checking in with a lot of people. See, you got my back, right? Right? We're okay on this. You got my back. Um, he's he's starting to worry, but it still hasn't really kind of caught up with him totally. Um, I do want to go back to the Knight of Cups here as well, in that that's his drinking. So is he trying to drown his sorrows in what's happening? Yeah. Okay. Uh, Moving forward, the King of Wands. He's looking for ideas. He's looking for ways to minimize this. There wasn't anything important that was discussed. What was discussed? Oh, don't worry about it. It wasn't anything important, right? Um, I think that some of the people around him are trying their level best to come up with a different spin on this, so that they can minimize it. They can minimize the downfall. They can minimize the scandal surrounding it. Although, to be honest, it feels like there's more that's going to come out regarding Pete. Yeah, sorry about your luck, bud. But okay, what do we have? They're Four of Wands. This was an opportunity that you squandered. You could have done something with it. You didn't. It's the Four of Wands is traditionally marriage and so on. And as I say that, I'm wondering if Mrs. Hegseth is contemplating an end, if she is giving him a choice, which is you walk away from this and you go into rehab, or the kids and I are gone. Interesting. That would be really, really interesting. He is standing in judgment right now. He is absolutely looking at how he is being judged. And I think it's entirely possible that, yeah, his family, particularly his wife, is pointing out to him how he is being judged, how he is going to be judged. Now, having said that, why would she be involved in a conversation over signals about things that she shouldn't have knowledge of? So, she's I think she's the smarter of the two of them, and I think she's pointing out some of the pitfalls. And it could be that she is suggesting that, yeah, you resign and you go into treatment, or I'm out of here, as a way to soften people's judgment of him. Right? Here's here's a man who, yes, he's got a drinking problem. He didn't know what it was, and um, he's going to walk away. He's going to concentrate more on his family and getting himself well, and so on and so forth. And temperance. Somebody is seriously telling him, you gotta, when you said you're going to quit drinking, yeah, okay, yeah, that's it. There's They're not really giving him a lot of leeway in terms of what he can do next. I think that the message about the drinking is going to, it's coming in from his family. It's going to be coming in from the White House. It's going to be coming in from a lot of people. Not that they're necessarily concerned with his health, but it's a good way to get him out the door. Yes, the Eight of Cups. I think that probably within the, I would say within the next 8 days, 2 weeks, yeah, we'll hear about his tendering his resignation to the president, who desperately does not want to accept it, because Pete didn't do anything wrong. It's Sleepy Joe Biden and the woke Dems who are making a mountain out of a molehill. But he does realize that perhaps alcohol has taken more of a control of his life than he would like. So he's going to walk away, and he's immediately going into a rehab facility to clean himself out, and he's going to concentrate on his family. Well, now, let's see how that works out for him. Let's see how that works out. Okay. How is how is the White House looking at this? And I'm not necessarily thinking of Trump, because Trump doesn't care. He doesn't care. As long as his sycophants are out there, singing his praises and doing his bidding, he couldn't care less. So, how is the White House feeling about this? What do they think of Pete's scandal part 2? Okay. What is the White House thinking in all this? And you know what? I think what I'm going to do is, for those of you that are familiar with the spread that David and Gary use, I think I'm going to use that spread for this. How is the White House dealing with Pete Hegseth? Okay. All right. Well, we start off with the Page of Wands, talking about ideas, floating different ideas. How can we approach this? How can we sell this? How can we, turn this into something that's a little more positive? Just ideas, floating ideas on ways that they can communicate the situation going forward. And it's challenged by the King of Pentacles. I think that they fully appreciate that how they approach this is they're going to have to be rather crafty at how they approach it, because Trump really doesn't want to hear anything against Pete. So they have to be careful in how they present the options to Trump, what he's going to do with the information that they give. Okay, once again, underneath the deck, we've got the King of Wands, trying to come up with a story that is going to minimize the damage. Really, I mean, the damage is done, right? The milk has been spilled, the eggs have been broken. Yeah, trying to minimize, trying to again come up with different messaging and so on. Okay, in the past, the Nine of Wands. In this case, I'm going to read the Nine of Wands as this was something, an emotional entanglement with Pete Hegseth and alcohol. They were fully aware that, the man's got a drinking problem. Entertainment purposes only. Let me qualify that again. The man has a drinking problem. You can't expect someone who isn't clear-headed to make clear-headed decisions. So they're minimizing something that is a big challenge and trying to make it into a little challenge. I don't really think that that's going to work. The current situation is the world. Yeah, people are watching. They're paying attention. They're asking questions, right? They want to know who else is involved in this. What other countries? What other nations? What other citizens are involved in this? What was the information that was shared? And you can't fall back on we can't tell you because, it's state secrets. He shared it with his wife and brother. So, if he can share it with them, he can share it with everyone else. But there are a lot of people that are seriously questioning what he's doing. Okay, the overarching energy right now is the Six of Swords, trying to find a way to get to calmer waters. How do we put out a story that is going to seem plausible? How do we excuse this? How do we come up with another headline, something that is going to take over so that people forget about Pete Hegseth and this particular signal little fiasco? Okay. The lesson to be learned. All right. The Nine of Pentacles. You know what? Sometimes people who have or are in a very good circumstance don't always appreciate that they're in a very good circumstance. They don't always appreciate the things that maybe others have offered, or they're being very very limited in the scope in terms of the attention that they're putting on others. So it's also to me, well, we've survived worse than this. But I think the lesson is, well, maybe you have, but you know what? When you have one scandal and then another and another and another and another, there comes a time when people start to pay attention in a way that maybe they hadn't before, where they kind of run out of excuses for you. And the final outcome is the Three of Cups. Okay, that's a little It's a little weird, the Three of Cups, because um, that would be a celebration. That would be generally be a good card. Um, I wonder if maybe this the here the Three of Cups would. I wonder if this is three people that are going to be involved in his removal. Um, his wife, um, his lawyer, and I don't know who the third person is, unless, of course, it's a someone from a treatment facility. Um, but they can take the bad news of the situation, and they can turn it into a celebration in terms of, ah, see, it's a good thing that this happened and that he was caught, because now he realizes the effect that alcohol has had on his life. It sunk in. We've been waiting for this moment for years and years. It finally sunk in. He's on his way to treatment. He has accepted treatment. It's kind of like, when you got nothing to lose, and all of a sudden is, oh, I've seen the Lord. I accept the Lord God as my Savior. It's a little disingenuous, but that could be how they're looking at spinning this. Okay. All right. And the last thing that I want to take a look at real quick is if okay, what I'm trying to think of how I want to ask the question so that I get the answer. I wish I knew how to do that pause thing so that I could sit here and kind of, without having you all looking at me like, come on, spit it out. What do you want? Okay. Is is the White House going to stand behind him, or are they going to cut him loose? Let's put it that way. Okay. Is the White House going to cut him loose? King of Swords. Okay, so somebody's going to take the bull by the horns and say, okay, enough with the BS. Here's what needs to be done. And let's just go out there and do it. And it's crossed by the Knight of Swords. Yeah, somebody's going to make that decision, and that could be Trump himself, who says, yeah, no, guys got to go, and going to send in some underling, whoever, to let him know that his services are no longer required. Okay, bottom of the deck, we've got the Knight of Wands. It's amazing, the knights that have come out in this reading, the doers, the kind of pushing forward. So yeah, the Knight of Wands is the ideas, messaging, so on. I can't help but be drawn to the kind of volcano in the background there. It's like, okay, you know what? We gave you a chance, dude. You just don't get it. You just don't get it. You're too volatile, even for us. Okie dokie. All right. In the past, the the Eight of Pentacles. In the past, just do your job. Concentrate on concentrate on the task at hand, concentrate on your craft. You're here to be a mouthpiece, you're here to do the bidding. You're not here to draw attention to yourself, so on and so forth. This is perfecting your craft, like basically, like, have you read your job description? Okay. The current situation is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. We've looked around. We have assessed. We're basically talking about his value to the administration. And while some people might see him as being a valuable part of the administration, there are others who see it as, you know what, there's your the return on our investment isn't quite what we expected. I think I think they are going to cut him loose. Okay, what do we have? The current situation is, oops, this is upside down, is the Ace of Swords. Listen, when you hire someone with a drinking problem and you know that they have a drinking problem, don't be surprised when they do things that people with drinking problems do. So I don't think that they like all the attention that is being focused on this right now. Okay, so the lesson to be learned is the High Priestess. Yes, he made a lot of promises. This is the High Priestess is things that are hidden, things that haven't come out yet, the questions that that will reveal the truth if they are asked in a particular way. With the High Priestess, yeah, she will never lie to you. She will always tell you the truth. You just have to ask the right question. So I think that's kind of where the administration is now. Ooh, final outcome. The Devil. Oh, Pete, sorry about your luck, man. But you know what? You can take the time and rehab to kind of re-examine things and where your life is going. But yeah, I don't know that you'll be back in the administration again, but they certainly are going to. They're certainly going to cut him loose, and don't be too surprised if he is. He's out of his position right now. He goes into rehab for a month or two, and then give him a month or two after that. And he's going to try to reinvent himself and try to get back in the administration. So anyway, that's what I've got on Pete Hegseth, the gift that keeps on giving. Wow, only the best people, eh? All right. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I am celebrating my 4th year anniversary of the channel this Thursday on the 24th, and I would really like to reach 5,500. I'm about 160 away from there. I think it's absolutely doable, even though it's only a couple days. I think it's absolutely doable. And for those that are hearing me for the first time, welcome. Leave a comment at the end of the at the end of the video if you like. If you have any questions that you would like me to do future readings on, by all means, put it in there. And yeah, I love to respond to your comments. The only thing that I will say is when you leave a comment, if you are nasty towards me, or if you're nasty towards any of the other people who leave comments, you're going to get blocked. I don't know. It's just a rule I have. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.